Oh my God, I cannot believe this right now. I actually found out who my grandmother is. If you don't know the backstory to this, you can watch my last video. I'll put the link in the description box. But I found my mother's mother through Ancestry.com DNA testing, and I guess I'll just tell you how it happened. So yesterday was my day off from work. I was laying in bed, just kind of being lazy, and I got a message on Facebook from my mother's first cousin, who I've been communicating with through Ancestry.com. And I had just sent her my DNA information and my mom's, all of our DNA matches, so that she could compare them. And her and her mom ended up finding out that her mom's older sister is actually my mom's birth mom. So she messaged me on Facebook and told me to call her as soon as possible, and left her phone number. And so I go, okay, I'll call you in like 5 minutes. So I'm having a mini panic attack. I'm like, oh my God, what is she gonna tell me? And I called her, and we talked for a while, and she told me that she found out her aunt is my grandmother, my biological grandmother. And you know, this was my goal all along, to hopefully find out who my mom's birth mother is. And I wanted to do it, you know, before it's too late for them to ever meet each other. But anyways, she told me the story about why and how my mom was adopted. I guess her mother was away at college in Sonoma, which is not far from where I live right now. And she was 21 years old, college student, probably didn't have much money at all, and she got pregnant. And come to find out, she got pregnant by a married man. So he already had a wife and a family and everything, and she didn't want to interfere in that. And she also, you know, was scared to tell her own family and her own parents about the fact that she was pregnant. So apparently she went through her whole pregnancy completely alone, with no family involved at all, and gave birth alone. And I mean, it's really, really sad, but I think that she thought that she couldn't provide a good life for my mom at the time, and she probably wasn't ready. And she obviously wasn't getting any support from the guy she slept with. So she made the decision, with the help of her doctor, to put my mom up for adoption, and the doctor helped her with the paperwork. But I guess she had to bring my mom home for 15 days and take care of her until all the paperwork was taken care of. And she met my adoptive grandparents, my mom's parents that raised her. She met them, and she knew, you know, little facts about them. So that's how I was able to be like, oh yeah, this is for sure her. She knows things that no one else would know. And I guess she went back 6 months later to see my mother, and just to make sure that she was in a good family and that she was comfortable with who she was leaving her baby with. And she got to hold my mom, and I can't even imagine how hard that must have been, to have to go through all that alone. and, you know, feel like you can't really tell anyone. You know, just being a young mom and not having any financial stability, it must have been pretty heartbreaking. I can imagine that I would be extremely heartbroken if I had to make that decision. I mean, me personally, I couldn't even I just couldn't put my kid up for adoption. But, you know, back then society was different and things like that were like really shameful. So, you know, an unwed mother getting pregnant by a married man, like, I mean, still that's a kind of a shameful thing, but it's it was much more shameful back then. But anyways, I'm so excited. I know what her name is, and she lives in Florida. And my mom's cousin sent me a whole bunch of pictures of my grandmother from when she was young. So I got to see like childhood photos and even some more recent ones. But apparently she never got married. She never had any other children. And she said that not a day has gone by that she hasn't thought about my mom. And they are all open to meeting my mom and I and my kids, my siblings, whoever is down to meet. So hopefully someday soon we can make those arrangements, and I will bring my camera. So there should be a video and hopefully a lot of great photos, and I'm just really hopeful that we all get to meet and see where things go before it's too late, because life is short and you just never know what can happen. And so I told my mom to come over right away as soon as I got off the phone with her cousin, and she came over and I told her the news, and of course she teared up, and we talked a lot about it, and I showed her the pictures, and she's really happy and excited that we found this out. Yeah, that's about it for this update so far. In the future, I'd like to be able to show some pictures of my grandmother, and you know, once her family finds out everything and gets over the shock, then I'll be able to post more about this. But yeah, that's about it for now. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned because there might be a reunion video coming up after this. Bye.